Today we're exploring some of the trendiest parts of Seoul, and joining me is none other than my photography student, which I've known for many years. This will be a full day of taking photos. I actually gifted her this Fuji X100. Now, you don't know many photographers that give their students their cameras? Well, I have quite a few. First up is Hongik University, which is the tourist destination for many people. Luckily, we're here on a weekday, so there aren't many people around. But as you get deeper into Hondae, the crowds start to pop out. There's also lots of buskering around in this area, but you can't beat the views. There's also this one area called Yeonnamdong, which is like full of cafes and cool stores such as this Studio Ghibli one. But I like Yeonnamdong because you get more of that, like, it's hard to describe the vibe, but you have some nice views. So be sure to stop here if you get the chance. Here's some of the photos that we're taking. We're using an infrared camera that I converted a few years ago. So the hardest part of Hongdae is getting through the crowds. Now, it's going to be a long day, so we stopped by the Merlion Cafe in Seoul. It's a Singaporean cafe. It's actually my favorite cafe in this area, and not so busy. Now, we got a long day ahead of us, so we're gonna move on to the next destination. This time, it's one of the more trendier spots you see on Instagram lately. Like, a lot of people come here just for this. And it's located at Yongsan Station. So it's a bit of a walk, maybe 10 minutes, but along the way, you have to pass through this like really rundown area. And I just think it's really cool and a lot different than what you usually see in other videos about Seoul. I also like this place because of it's really close to the Han River. But the train crossing you see here is what most people come for, especially on a rainy evening. Now, I have a lot of places that I would like to recommend if you're coming to Seoul, but I'm recommending some of my favorite ones today. You can see we spent quite a while here. There's just so many things to photograph on this day. And yeah. It's a train stop located near Yongsan Station. I even took out my medium format camera to get some normal shots. Yeah, I really like trains for some reason, but the train tracks and the day were just really beautiful. I ended up with some real nice pictures. Now, before the sun goes down, we headed to our last and final destination, which is located near Insadong, and that is Dongnimun Station. Now, in Dongnimun Station, there's a temple called Inwangsa Temple. Not many people know about it, but it offers what I think is the best free view of Seoul, if you don't mind hiking up there, that is. It's probably like a 10-15 minute climb up the stairs. Now, do not confuse this with Inwangsan Mountain, which is located right behind here. This is Inwangsa Temple. And you can see some like really old school arts, traditional buildings. And here's where it gets interesting. As you climb up towards the temple itself, there's a hidden path. As soon as you get up the stairs, you turn right, follow a little path up there, and eventually you will be greeted with a view like this. Yeah, it's really breathtaking. I love taking my friends up here, take some nice photos all time of the year. And there's another little path right along the edge of the rock, where if you follow it, you'll get to an even higher position. And it's also a great sunrise spot, aside from like, it's a sundown and a sunrise spot. You know, everyone would really benefit from coming up here. So We had a nice long day, and of course, editing. So I'm going to guide you through one of the editing processes. Now, the camera I used today was a Canon R5 with a 24-105. I'm using a full spectrum modification. That's why the trees look kind of pink and stuff. So the colors look a little bit different, right? Anyways, here is how we're going to edit this picture. I'm going to start with the highlights. Increase the whites until you get like little peaking over here. You can see when I click the triangle, there's a little bit of red that appears on the screen. It's more prominent if I do like this, you know. But I don't want to go all the way, just enough. Now we're going to take the white balance off the road. Sometimes you can do it off the clouds, but I like to do it off the road most of the time. It's kind of a gray neutral color. Now, when you edit infrared photos, sometimes it gets kind of washed out. Now, when I shoot it infrared, I usually underexpose. And I don't want to overblow like the clouds because it's very easy to do with infrared. So I'm gonna increase exposure just a little bit until it matches my eye. You know, this is more like what I see. And I do bring down the blacks to bring back some of that contrast that is lost. Now, one of the things that I like to do, now this is really to your liking if you have a full spectrum or infrared camera. I like to make sure the trees are kind of pink, increase the luminance. And it's just like my touch now. There is no magic number, it's just the way you like it. And I like to come here to this kind of aqua teal kind of blue color and make it a little bit more normal. I get what I guess a sky would look like. And there we go, it's looking really nice. Let's denoise, right? I find that Lightroom denoiser is actually pretty good. Now, since I am using a full spectrum converted camera, I don't have to run this through Adobe Photoshop to do like the channel swapping. And that saves me a lot of time, especially when I have so many photos. I mean, look at all these. Full depth shooting. I didn't even show you all of them. And the final touch, I'm going to give the midtones just a slight purplish, pinkish blue hue. There we go. I like the way this looks. Maybe just a little bit of clarity, texture. There we go. Picture is perfect.